Welcome back to the Mythic Journey series, Tactician. Today's video is a sort of a follow-up on the previous one to round out the AdMechs. And yes, I am ignoring Cygex because he sucks for most regular applications. And that means that if you've been paying attention and or read the video's title, you know to be expecting Actus. Mission 1. Defeat 4 flying enemies with Actus in one battle. You could be fancy about this one and look for an Elite Mirror Octarius stage with 4 or more Storm Boys, or maybe a legendary release event stage against the Thousand Suns to chase after Screamers. Or you could hit any Indomitus stage with Scarabs.
The first Actus' Mythic Journey mission supposedly needs him to defeat 4 flying enemies in one battle, so I think any stage in Indomitus with Scarabs will do just fine, because Scarabs are flying and as such they count. You just need to make sure they multiply a bit and that you take out 4 of them with Actus. And if you have Vitruvius, that in theory should make it a little easier for reasons. And I think I just fucked up with Wolf, because Wolf will be auto-chopping the new summons, which is actually why I brought him here, so that the Scarabs don't multiply rampantly, and if they do, they will remove themselves basically on Wolf, but right now that may become a bit troublesome. So anyway, that's the second Scarab stack defeated by Actus. And right now I like Wolf being blocked off from doing damage or mass slaughter on the Scarabs, but apparently they like hitting Actus, so I don't need to worry about that. Oh, and that's an original Scarab stack. Anyway, this is, I believe, the third Scarab stack destroyed by Actus, so I'm gonna take a wild bet that one of the remaining 2 will not attack Wolf, and it indeed didn't, so that's stack number 4 and mission done.
Mission 2. Prepare 27,000 health with Actus in one turn. This is the inevitable badge burn mission, because without complicating your life with summons, you will need your Actus' active to repair at least 5400 HP. Level 49 may be enough, because according to the wiki, level 50 repairs a little over 5900. However, there is a secondary problem. You also need 5 mechanicals with at least, let's say, 6000 HP each, and that means building Cygex, which I really wouldn't recommend, or Morven Val, who I'd say is the better 5th Imperial mech, but still meh, to complete this mission in Imperial Onslaught, or waiting for an LRE where you can bring along Galgors or Rivas. And yes, I am ignoring Galatian, because he can only be deployed in modes with a turn limit, and good luck with that. Stage-wise, I recommend something against Tyranids, because their instinctive behavior and combination of ranged and physical melee attack makes reducing your hero's HP very controllable. Let me show what I mean in Onslaught.
The second Actus' Mythic Journey mission supposedly requires him to heal 27,000 worth of HP in one turn. Now, the more astute of you may have noticed that this isn't Imperial Onslaught, and for that you deserve a cookie. But that doesn't matter, because I think the basic principle is going to apply just the same. So, step 1, I think this is the best way to do this mission, or the most readily available way to do this mission. is in onslaught, and the step 1 would be to kill all the Tyranids except for one, ideally Thermagant, which I believe are the ranged guns. Let me confirm that quickly. Thermagant, yes, because with the Thermagants you can select between using their ranged attack and their physical attack to lower your hero's HP. So I'm gonna get to this point where I only have one enemy remaining, which is gonna take a while. So I'm gonna make a bit of a cut here. Okay, now that all enemies except one Thermagant have been killed off, the task turns into reduce all your heroes' HP to basically 6k missing. This is made much easier by the fact that the Tyranids have instinctive behavior, so you can perfectly control them. Depending on the map and on your exact positioning, this task may be easier or more difficult. Yeah, yes, should be able to take one more hit. There. Now, I just realized that doing this properly with the Imperials for Actus, you probably want to use Morven as your 5th mech rather than Cygex because of his Overwatch, which would make it trickier to pull this off, because basically you'd have to keep Cygex away from the front line to make sure he doesn't clear the stage for you. Yep, one more attack will be fine. Two more attack will be fine there. But even with him it should be manageable, because well, once you have got the Thermagant, ideally Thermagant, but it would work with the Hormagant as well, it would just take much longer. Stuck like this, then once you, or as long as you keep bringing targets for it to shoot, it will never move, and as such it would never trigger the Overwatch. Okay, bringing Abaddon probably wasn't the brightest idea for this demonstration because of Terminator armor, and apparently because of his high block chance. For fuck's sake. Bloody hell. But, well, since my Abaddon is still kinda small, it should be fine. Come on. I know I could have just not given a fuck and already did the big heal, but I just want to make a really good demonstration. There, so now everyone in theory is damaged by at least 6000 damage, which is roughly what Actus's active heals when it's at level 50, or possibly level 49 would be enough. So then you just bring everyone together. hit the button, and in theory this is the mission done. In practice, a bit more difficult possibly, hard to say.
Mission 3. Defeat 50 enemies with Actus. One word, grots. More words, infinite grots.
The third Actus' Mythic Journey mission supposedly requires him to defeat 50 enemies, and as such any stage with infinite grots would do. Normally I recommend Mirror Octarius 44, but because for reasons unknown I have a good surplus of the upgrade from there, I'm going to demonstrate it in Elite Mirror Octarius 7 instead, because the local upgrade is much more useful to me right now. So you want obviously Actus, and having Vitruvius around to fix him will help as well. Extra points if you can bring Isabella to block off some paths, or any other sister to get the counter in form of Act of Faith. Now, this type of mission does count battle fatigue procs, but taking a wild guess at how many battle fatigues you got procced is so very unscientific, so I'm just used to using Act of Faith to count the actual kills and base the missions of that. So you want to spawn as many grots as possible, which I kinda screwed up by hemming the grots in, but well, I'm pretty sure you got the point of this. This isn't your first rodeo, blah blah yada yada. So when Act of Faith crit chance goes to plus 500%, you are done. Just keep spawning them grots, make sure Actus can't scare the last one, and you will be fine. You can call it quits a bit earlier if you kept a rough mental track of how many battle fatigues you got, which I didn't, so I will or would go all the way to plus 500% crit chance on Isabella. Now, since this is just a theoretical, there is no need to do all that, so I'm just gonna clear the stage and move on. And I even got the upgrade, nice.
Mission 4. Defeat 3 enemies with Actus while he is suppressed. This mission should be reliably doable in the normal Volk stage in Mirror Fall of Cadia.
The fourth Actus' Mythic Journey mission is supposedly for him to defeat 3 enemies in one battle, on the condition that he be suppressed while he does the defeating. So probably the least weird way of doing this will be in Mirror Fall of Cadia 45 normal stage against Volk, where I believe Volk will want to sit on his perch on the highest possible ground, and if you keep Actus on this hex, he should be Volk's designated target. Let's see if that theory holds, and it does. So just keep hitting with Actus until he scored 3 defeats, and the mission should be rather easily completed. Like now. Let's see if I can score the win on this turn, and I think that's gonna be a yes. Oh, nice, even got a lightning victory out of this. Moving on.
But it can also be done unreliably.
Of course, there is another cheekier way of doing the fourth Actus' Mythic Journey mission, which is to use friendly fucking fire. As it happens, Vitruvius can suppress even allies with his active, so if you find a nice open Octarius map with orcs who happen to have the battle fatigue trait, you can find a cluster such as this one, bring Actus close to it, suppress him with Vitruvius because that's how Actus rolls, and then hope for the best. And that's how you can get this mission done with friendly fucking fire.
Mission 5. Deal 50,000 damage with Actus. There are only so many ways of sending you to fight Grots.
The fifth and final Actus' Mythic Journey mission is supposedly for him to deal 50,000 damage, presumably over any amount of battles. So of course I would try to do it in just one had I actually been on the mission. And I probably recommend Octarius or Elite Mirror Octarius, the names are getting long, 7 again. Now, you want to be scoring kills with Actus only, really, and since the enemies here all have, let's say, 500 HP, you can use Isabella or any other sister, but Isabella is convenient because she can heal herself, to count the kills, and you want roughly 100 of them. So when the crit chance bonus on her Act of Faith hits plus 1000%, you know you are done. In reality, you will be done a bit quicker because apparently the freshly spawned grots have 600 HP rather than 500, but I'm just too lazy to do the maths, and that's not really the point of this video anyway. So I believe you now get the idea, so I'm just gonna finish the stage and try and think of something jocular to say about Actus in the conclusion.
And even a bath later I'm drawing blanks. I mean, Actus isn't bad, he's a healer for mechs with great action economy even outside robots teams, but as far as ascending to Mythic goes, I don't really think he's that high a priority, and the journey itself is pretty straightforward too. So I think that's what I'll leave this video at. Thank you for watching. If you're still here, reward yourself with a small treat, unless you have already started working on your bikini season figure. And don't worry, or celebrate yet, I'll probably be back. But for now, Kaurin out.